whatever his
Oh
name
my
is,
God,
the
that's
suit he wears.
funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We
So,
should share a
oh,
little bit about how
next.
you, sorry, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
No, not next.
Next story. I was just gonna say, let's backtrack because like I want to know, I want to share how you have been able to see the world because I think that's the most interesting part of your travels. I don't know if you can share a little bit about how you go
Yeah.
about it because it's like
Well,
it's kind of like a
you
little
gotta,
bit of a game, like
yeah,
you.
you gotta find somebody in the airline industry, and you have to pay them more money than their girlfriend's worth,
Or wife.
or wife, or so I use my friend's marital, or whatever they call it.
Buddy pass or like
But no,
partner
no,
or
no.
something.
There's a buddy pass. There's a buddy pass, but that's they get like 13 or 18 buddy passes a year, and that's a one-time thing. And the
Okay.
buddy passes, you still have to pay something. Um,
I heard about that.
is it
The
the
marital.
spousal? I'm on the
Oh,
spousal. Yep. So I got a real good friend, works for an airline, and they don't get paid the best. So
and he's not
they
married.
loan them. They
Yeah.
loan them. Yeah, they loan them. And then I think the airlines always frown on it, but they all do it. And
Right.
then that's the perk of the job. If you can't get hooked up for your spousal pass, then why even have this $9 an hour job?
Right.
So my friend, I think he loads bags. He's a young 20-year-old. He loads bags in the airplanes, and he deems it more valuable to make a deal with me than to let his girlfriend fly for free everywhere, which they all do.
Right.
You know,
I think that's
and
so
just
cool.
yeah, and just think if your husband and wife both worked at airlines, what are they going to? They both get spousal pass. What are they going to do with them? So they sell them.
Right. That's
Yeah.
not unheard of. People have done that before, when you come to like
Mm-hmm.
ski lift
Mm-hmm.
passes or,
Mm-hmm.
I'm training at a
Condo
facility.
sharing.
Yeah. And, I mean, yeah, exactly. Or if you have like
Mm-hmm.
not an Airbnb, but if you have like what are those packages where you purchase like a property and you can go stay wherever you want to in the world
Mm-hmm.
and then you can sell your weeks or
Yeah.
whatever, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, because you don't
So I
want it to go
mean,
to waste.
yeah, it's a lot more interesting than what I make it out to be. So it's an adventure. You get real good at it. So from where I'm at, like if the further out in Europe you go, the earlier the flight leaves in the evening. So if you don't get on those flights, then you start backtracking. Okay, so if you want to get to Italy, you don't get on a flight, you end up in Austria. If you don't get on that, you end up in Germany. If you don't get on that, you end up in Belgium, and then you end up in London. Whatever you do, don't stay the night in New York. So get on some fucking plane. You understand me?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So get on the plane. You don't want to stay in JFK. I made that mistake. So the whole trick with Europe is just get to Europe. Even a train from Brussels to London is only a 3-hour train.
I think that's so interesting. So you would
Mm-hmm.
go from, a big airport in Detroit, and then you would head to where? You would go, you're trying to
You
get
just
to where?
get there. Yeah, just get
Just to
there. So
get
I went
somewhere.
So
to
you got to get a layover city that.
yes. So like
Chicago.
the standby, and it keeps you on your toes. Like the standby, like I said, I fly more first class than not.
That's
Uh,
so cool.
you kind of know when you're not getting on the plane. And there's a waiting list, and the app that these airlines give you is really good. So I log in. I'm his wife basically. So like when I go to his home airport and they know him by name and they see me using his pass, they just assume we're together or partners, or they don't say anything. They all know what's going on.
Yeah.
Or they might actually think we're together. I don't know.
I mean, you can't really
Anyway,
say
I'm flying for
much these
free.
days.
Yeah. So it's hurt me. It's hurt me. I fly the last few times I've flown, I didn't even use it because I wanted to make sure I'm on the plane. So it's standby, so you can get kicked off. Not get kicked off, never get on the plane. You never get on the plane in the first place.
So have you
Yeah.
so have you
Yeah,
been
I've
so
made
have
it.
you
I
like
made it
have you
not on a plane.
okay, like and then you
Yeah.
had to like so you are standing
Yeah, it
standby.
sucks.
You
Yeah,
stand by
it
and so you
sucks.
don't know when you're going to get on a plane and then when you get on the plane, you just get to
I
whatever
mean,
you just get to whatever you want to go
yeah,
to.
long story short, the app's very helpful. The app's very helpful. Like you can go to bed tonight with 50 empty seats and you're like, oh yeah, I'm good. You show up at the airport and there's like 3 fucking seats.
Oh my God.
So things, Detroit to Philly sells out, Philly to Florida sells out. These short flights fill out.
Yeah.
But if there's 30 seats or 40 seats empty to go to Spain tomorrow, you're pretty sure you're going to be on Spain, because 40 people just don't decide tonight to go to Spain.
Right.
But it's the little short runs that are tough.
That's
And
so
then
cool.
it keeps you on your toes. I've been done before where I've been stubborn, where I didn't get on that plane. I'm going to wait 2 hours for the next plane. Don't get on that plane. Now you're smart. So anybody that does this, I'm learning, like, just book a flight. Then if you're number 5 and they only have 5 seats, just book a flight. You get on your phone. Everybody's Expedia and Booking and Kayak. Just book the flight and get on the plane.
Right.
Don't think in that box. Don't be stuck in that box like, well, I'm flying standby and I hooked my friend up to get this thing and I hope I get on this flight. Just book a flight. We're all adults.
Right.
So I booked a flight to get on the plane. Then I actually got on the plane by standby. And as I'm walking on the plane, I canceled the flight I booked.
Do you get your money back, or does it just end up being credits? You
lose like 10%, or you get credits, but
yeah.
So I mean, it's a lot more interesting when I make it out to you pack light. You never check bags. Never check a bag, and you always pack a bathing suit and a coat. You don't really know. Are you going to be in Patagonia or are you going to be in Buenos Aires? That's
awesome.
And you want to be self-employed.
Flip-flops or some boots.
Yeah, you want to be self-employed because you might not make it home the day you need to be home.
So what's a one place? Okay, so let's say Albania. That's the one place that you wanted to be and you didn't end up, or it's a place that you ended up and you weren't expecting to be there.
No,
it was like,
I thought you'd say what's one of the best places I've ever been.
Yeah, well, I was kind of getting to that.
No, I've like I said, I learned that trick. So you're freaking out, you're fretting because like you had in your mind that you're going to be in Austria, but that plane got filled up. Well, then just get to Munich. So you have to be able to think on your toes, know the gates, and like I say, the flights leave in order because the further east you have to fly, the earlier in the evening it leaves. The London flight leaves Detroit at 11 p.m. Right. But the Munich flight leaves at 8:30 or 9 p.m.
Right.
So you just go in that order. Again, Europe is the size of Texas and Montana. So you just get over there. So it's worth it. Lately it hasn't been worth it with COVID. I still was, paying, not using. But yeah, Ukraine is great. Eastern Europe is wonderful. Bulgaria, Ukraine, you got the Latvia, Estonia.
Oh my God.
Poland is probably the best, to be honest. Don't go to Italy for food.
I was gonna say, like, where's the best place that you've been to where you were like, oh man, that food was like awesome. Food.
Poland.
Really?
Yeah. That's nicest people. I never, you go to Albania and people say, what are you trying to get kidnapped? Are you trying to get fucked up? You go there and they will not let you sleep on the street. A stranger would bring you in the house. It seems to be, I've been to Turkey, Istanbul. It seems to be if they're going to be mean or if they have a problem with you, they'll just walk around you or they won't answer you. But anybody that takes the time to interact is nice.
That's so cool.
Did you ever... the most dangerous place I've ever been is America. And expensive.
Yeah. That's yeah. So have you ever been in a place where you were just frustrated because you didn't know the language and you couldn't figure it out? Or did you always find someone that like could speak English or you could figure out what they were saying?
English is pretty prevalent. A lot of times I've heard English, like I've heard German people ordering food from a French waiter using English. So English seems to be like that. Maybe everybody has enough to practice it. So you'll get German and French they'll use English to interact, or you'll get Ukrainian and German, and everybody seems to use English somewhere in the middle. Because like I swear to you, you're in the mountains in Bulgaria, and you hear English at a restaurant, you're going over there and talking to them. because you're like, holy shit, I haven't heard anybody talk English in a week. I hear a fellow American talk English. I want to go meet them. And
Right.
chances are they're not even American. They're just using English as in between language to order.
That's so cool.
That's
So as
the
you,
best part about traveling, is meeting people.
Yeah, you meet more Americans in Europe than you will in your own neighborhood.
so you guys, so this is when you've been traveling on your own. So you were traveling just you, rolling solo. And it's a little bit easier to be traveling, I think, light and traveling when it's just you. But now you guys are traveling together, and you guys have been traveling all over the United States. I mean, is that a little bit more, is that a little bit more difficult, or no, you guys don't?
I mean,
Is that it's separate? You guys travel
Yeah.
separately from that sort of like way that you travel?
I mean, it ain't never boring with me. We went to Grand Canyon last week, and we got hit with 14 or 17 inches of snow in Arizona. So
Oh my
That was
God.
unexpected.
yeah, I keep it interesting.
So we stayed at the Grand Tovar Hotel, the
Yeah.
really old, cool hotel that's right on the Grand Canyon. And at
That's
night
so-
we go to bed, and it's snowing, and we know a snowstorm's coming, and we have to depart the next morning. So we decide not to take the route south through Sedona. We decide to go through the mountains to Flagstaff, which it was whiteout driving through the mountains.
Yeah.
It was a nail biter.
Wow.
We were saying prayers, and we were praying to get to Flagstaff, find a cafe or a bar that we could go into and talk to some people about if we should continue to Jerome. Jerome is on the side of a cliff. So we pull in and kind of slide into a parking spot and stomp our snowy boots off, get inside this bar, and the first people that we see are smiling and waving at us. Where are you from? What's your story? What are you doing? It was like everything that we had prayed for.
Yeah.
And we were so grateful. And we asked them if we should continue to Jerome, and they said no, stay here. So we booked a hotel room at Monte Vista in Flagstaff and stayed for the night. And the car was snowed in. There was 14 inches of snow on the ground. This is in Arizona, right? But in northern Arizona, which a lot of
just
us
last
don't
week.
know, they get snow, and we were at the high altitude. It was over 6,000 feet.
Wow.
So that's why there was snow in Arizona in February.
I would say this, if you're not college type, or even if you are, if you want to get smart, you want to do some different travel. Travel will make you think on your toes. Traveling will, and you'll be embarrassed. It'll make you look like an idiot. So many things will happen all day long. When you, like Albania, it was my job to wake up. Even in Spain is impossible almost. Wake up, find breakfast, find an ATM, go to a museum, eat dinner. That's your day. So like when you travel, being that I haven't gone to college, traveling is probably the smartest thing I've ever done to help my intellect. Trains, you're bouncing from airplanes to trains to this to that. And then, I pack real light. I don't stay long in any place. So I backpack it everywhere, 2 of everything, no more, 2 socks, 2 underwears, 2, that kind of pack.
2 toothbrushes. I'm just joking.
You miss trains. I've been on the wrong train. I've gone the wrong way. I've been lost. I booked airplanes and never made it. I booked my Airbnb spotless. I have 5-star Airbnb. I booked Airbnbs and never made it. They say I'm the cleanest tenant they ever had. I never even went there. But then again, when you're traveling the Baltic, is that what they want? They don't like Europe. When you travel Eastern Europe, I think it's the Baltic, like Poland, Latvia, Estonia, you're booking Airbnbs are $20 a night.
Wow.
So why even cancel? So if you don't make it, you don't make it. So that traveling thing, it's crazy. I booked this last trip. I booked airplane tickets for the wrong month. I mean, you always are fucking up.
That's so
But
crazy.
the traveling it keeps you on your toes. Yeah, 100%.
I have to
And then
tell you.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, I was gonna say like I just want to interject because like when I travel, like to me, like it takes just to go to Vegas when I went to Vegas recently, and you guys know the whole story. It took months of planning and packing and getting, situated, and then even and all that traveling and even the layover and the waiting. It was like a lot. It was taxing on me. And just for me, like traveling is difficult. I don't think it's as easy it's easy for some people, or some people just really enjoy it and like it. But for me, I'm just
the less you
fascinated.
plan, the easier it is. The further ahead you plan, like I arrived in Italy and I had bought tickets to fly from Sicily back up to Milan. I never even made it to Sicily to get on the plane in the first place. So I really try to not plan more than 2 days ahead. You don't want to plan more than 2-3 nights ahead, because whatever you plan, then you're just, it's like you're running around in high school trying to make it to your class on time. So sometimes you stay longer than you do, sometimes you don't. But the planning is a stressful part. A lot of times I just show up. I mean, what's there to do in Europe? You walk around, look at things, and you drink and eat.
Meet people.
I'd say Ireland, Poland, and Albania. I've learned more from those countries than any university could have taught me. Those are the 3 countries. Ireland teaches you your past. Albania teaches you the recent part, where in 1990 when the government was overthrown.
Yeah.
And Poland was the of course World War II things.
Right.
But Ireland, I learned in Ireland that we're about 400 years behind on our intellect because the Vikings kept invading Ireland and kept setting back Ireland was humanity's only, like, they knew how to write, they had books, dictionaries, all this stuff, the smartest people at the time, and then the Vikings kept invading them and setting them back. Every time the Vikings invaded, they set them back like 100 years. Wow. So I learned a lot in Ireland about that.
So what are, like, I was going to say, like, when you go to these different places, do you have like a little bit of a game plan in the back of your head? Because I know you're kind of like, planning is not really your thing, but like, do you like make sure you hit like, how do you find all the places to go to, like the churches or the monasteries?
You just walk. The great thing about Europe, no church is ever locked. Not maybe at 3 a.m. I don't know, but during the day, like in Italy, every church doors are open. Even in Ukraine, the most unbelievable churches, I've not been to Russia, but the most unbelievable churches are Ukraine. And the doors are never locked. Now they might make you wear, they have those skirts and hats for the women to put on if it's Orthodox, but the colors, Albania was insane. Poland and great churches. I mean, there's so much. Don't get the BMW, don't get the Volvo. If you really want to get your money's worth, go traveling.
Yeah.
When this is all figured out of what's going on now.
Well, it's over now, but whatever, I'm just joking.
I got stressed out because I was trying to plan our trip to Arizona because I wanted to see a few things south of Phoenix and a few things north of Phoenix. And I was looking at the map and I realized, oh my gosh, there's so much to see. And I just started getting anxiety. And the best advice my cousin gave me was just take it day by day and see how you feel. And it's kind of like that wandering feel, like you just wander. What are you up for? That was the best advice. And once we got there and everything, well, our plane got canceled because of the storm in Detroit. And then when we finally landed a day and a half later, the rental car was... There's no rental cars. There was no rental cars, and there was a line of 400 people waiting for rental cars. They'll gladly upgrade you to a Mustang for a small fee. However, when you get down to the parking garage, there's no car in sight. So it was like a 4-hour wait. It was just you gotta... What I learned is you can't be... Just because you planned it doesn't mean you have to do it. So the people around us, we took a 4-hour flight to Phoenix. The people, when there's a 4-hour wait for a rental car, what do people do? Get in line and wait. Fuck that. Like I ain't waiting for 4. Yeah. So with the traveling is
you got to be, you just got to be able to, like, you know what?
You got to be able to balance and roll with it.
Like I said,
and have
so
a good,
what?
Positive outlook and be like, oh, that's not what we planned. We're still going to,
so what?
Like, we're still going to have a great
you booked the
time.
Airbnb and you canceled it and you lost half your money. Like, man, just you keep it moving. It's traveling. And then what's that thing we just learned? Handle your losses as it happens. Don't let it build up.
Don't let it build up like an ice block, like a big ice block.
Otherwise, it's all day long. Like I said, just to find an ATM in Ukraine that takes your card, that's a half a day.
I was gonna say, do you exchange your currency? Like, do you take American currency and then exchange it?
No, don't do that. That's the old world. I started out doing that. Don't do that. And then I go with very little money. I go with euro. I go with a few euros and 20s. Now remember, you are never alone. You have Uber, you have Lyft. In Ireland, they use Taxi Now or Free. Taxi Free is apps. Every country has like their knockoff Uber.
Right.
And then always remember, I keep like 5 or 6 $20 bills on me, or 5 or 6 20 euros on me. If you need to get out of wherever you're at, I bribe people to give me rides. Even if they're not a taxi, offer someone 20 euros. And then even if it's, well, that would have been a €5 taxi ride. Fuck that. You need to get out. You need to make a move. So you keep smaller bills on you, $20 bills. Every bill take dollars or euros.
Were you ever nervous about getting in someone else's car though? If you were like, they weren't like a taxi?
Yeah, I had to hitchhike in Albania at 11 o'clock at night.
Oh my God.
On a highway.
Is your mother like, la, 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 don't tell me this?
No, this is a horrible story. We went up to we were near Tirana, the capital. I went with an Albanian friend who spent half his life in Albania and half in America.
Yeah.
We went up to some up mountain town on Sunday where we didn't realize the taxi stopped or the bus stopped at like 8 p.m. Of course, there's a major soccer game going on. No one wants to help you. And then, so some women stop. We're walking on the road, me and this friend, and some women stop us and they ask us for directions. And my Albanian friend talks Albanian. He's like, well, that town, well, they wanted directions to go to the capital. He's like, oh, we're going to the capital. We could ride with you, give us a ride. We need a ride, you need directions. And they're like, one lady said yes. And the other lady was like, had that look on her face, like, I don't know, 2 men, like they might rob us. And I'm already a little halfway perturbed, blunt. I'm like, and she's like, well, they might rob us. I said, lady, your money's 50 to 1. It's me worried about you robbing me. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to. Now the LEC is 100 to 1. 100 of their dollars is our one. Albania, I was in the capital. I'm eating breakfast at the most expensive hotel next to the former president of Albania. Our meal was $20.
Wow.
Yeah, Albania, and this is when it was 50 to 1. This is when it was 50 to 1. Now it's 100 to 1. I slipped the young waiter. He's 18. You could tell his friends was out playing and he was working. He had that look on his face. I slipped him a $10 bill for tip. He drops the damn thing and does the Albanian dance. It's insane. Their income is $300 to $500 a month, and that's working 7 days a week.
That's
and
crazy.
They love Americans. Albanians. I'm not talking about American Albanians. Albanians from Albania love Americans.
Right.
Yep, they love us. You see an American flag up at restaurants. So back to that story. So they don't pick us up, and then we talked to this other guy, and we're trying to pay him to drive us an hour one way, and he has to drive an hour back. My friend, they go back and forth. They're bickering. I don't know Albania, so I don't know what to say. And then they walk, and then my friend walks off, and I follow him. So I go, what happened? He goes, he wanted $15. Or no, I think he said he wanted $12. I'm like, okay, what's wrong with that? He said, well, a taxi would have cost $8. So I'm like, you fucking kidding me? Now we're fucking, it's dark. Now we're hitchhiking on a goddamn highway. Hell, I can't even tell you the highway.
Over $4.
At 11 o'clock at night. 11 o'clock at night in Albania. So finally, no one's picking us up. Finally, this young guy picks us up in an old Mercedes, him and his friend. They tell us get in the back seat. I get in the back seat and there's a motherfucking Grim Reaper thing in the back seat. Like, oh, we're dead.
Like an actual like shaft.
Yeah,
like
they were out doing farming that day, and that was their tool they used. Like, the Grim Reaper.
Yes, it's like it's like a harvesting
that's in his back seat.
thing,
I'm sitting next to it. He wouldn't take any money. He wouldn't take none of our money. The nicest people for sure, Albania.
So you ended up safe and to the next stop.
Yeah. But I do have a new Albanian friend. He wants to take me to the northern end, not down to the city, but the northern. So there's Saran, Albania. That's the south. They're building the airport there now. That's your resorts, and then there's northern Albania, where it's more the farmland and the property has been passed on from generation to generation. Go to Albania. If you ever go, always go to the most expensive places.
Really?
You'll meet diplomats, you'll meet ambassadors, you'll meet the most amazing people. Always go to the most expensive places. Like I say, we were ordering a bottle of wine just to take a sip of it, and our bill was never more than $20. And the waiters never turn their back on you. They walk away backwards.
Why?
I don't know, out of respect or something. Like, the waiters don't turn around. When they walk away from your table, they walk backwards. So they always are facing you.
In case you remember, oh, I need more water.
Insane. Albania was.
They don't want to miss a beat with their service.
If between Italy and Albania, I'll pick Albania every time.
That's interesting. I've been to
good food.
Better food than Italy. I've been to Austria, Italy, Germany. I think that's it. And when I traveled for for soccer after I graduated from high school, but I never appreciated 1 second of it. Like, I remember pieces and parts to it, that definitely like imprinted on my younger self, but like, I don't think I appreciated it. And there's parts of the United States that I haven't even seen either. So like, do you feel like, are you drawn to Europe and going?
Yeah. I have no interest. I really don't have interest in Asia. Like, I'll go to Japan or parts of Asia just to do it. But like Asia and Africa, not too much interest. Australia, probably not. It's Europe. I'm an architectural type person. I like seeing things, how they're put together.
Yeah.
Ireland's amazing. I've never seen people drink. So I've never seen so many people throw up before in my life. They're just
what in Ireland?
Just drinking. Yeah. Ireland. You think you drink a lot in America, not you personally, but anybody in America, you think you drink a lot, go to Ireland. And it's the coolest thing is because the 80-year-olds party at the same place, the 19-year-olds and 20-year-olds. So they're all at the same club.
Right.
Dancing and having fun, no matter what age.
That's cool. I remember going to like a discotheque in Germany. We went to Munich. I remember Munich. Germany definitely imprinted in my tiny 18-year-old brain. And I remember going to a discotheque or something, and we did go to Dachau, and I remember going to Dachau. And I'm sure you've been to different like museums like that around Germany. And we went to Venice and we walked around Venice, and that was interesting. And went to different, into different churches and got lost in the canals and went on a gondola ride and stuff like that. So I remember that, but I mean, I just feel like I haven't seen enough of the United States, and my man babe is not interested in traveling to Europe. So I almost am like living vicariously through you.
No, I do it. The USA has everything Europe has. We have the mountains. We have, I was told this too a while back, start as far out as you want and work your way back in.
Yeah.
And they were international businessmen, and they were right. If you see what's going on.
Yeah.
The USA has everything you see in Europe, we have it here. It's just Europe has the older buildings. But always, if I would ever give advice, always travel light. I backpack it, like Rick Steves does. Always have an ATM card, and always, especially if you're in Euros, always get out your max. So if your ATM max is $500, always get your max every day. Because for some reason, either my bank doesn't trust me, but I'm only allowed $500 a day every
3
day.
minutes. We store for 3 minutes.
Oh, that's so cool. I love that. I can't wait.
No.
That's a plug.
Unfortunately.
So, but in Europe, I made a mistake. Americans are Americans. I can speak for all of us. We what if it's sunny? I need sunblock. I need a hat. What if it's cold? I need a coat. Yeah, they have stores there.
We laugh at people with the suitcase.
I need to pack. Yeah, when you pack light, just liberate yourself and pack light. Follow the rules.
You can handle a backpack.
Follow the rules and just 2 of everything. You can't have 10 socks and 2 underwear, because when you do laundry, you're washing everything anyway. So you can't have too much of one thing. It'll throw off the balance. You have to skimp on everything. So if your backpack weighs more than 12 to 14 pounds, get rid of something. You do your laundry every 3rd day, and you travel light. That way you bounce from the train to the Airbnb, to the airport. If you travel like I do, I'm not the resort type. I just don't sit there and eat. I'm always moving on. Hell, like I said, I've even need Airbnbs early. Like, fuck it, I booked 3 days. I'm sick of the place. I'm moving to the next place. Everything's a train ride away. It's so easy to book trains. Rome to Rio. If we're still doing the traveling thing right now, get on Rome to Rio is the best app for traveling.
Rome to Rio. I'm writing that down.
Yep. Rome #2 Rio, RIO. And it gets stressful, this and that, but I learned I met great people. I've learned so much. I average 7 miles a day.
Wow.
I lose weight. I come back with weighing less weight as when I went.
And dapper too, apparently.
Yeah.
You dress dapper.
Yeah. I didn't even think I could have worn my European outfit.
Next
time. I didn't even think of that. So, but I mean, whenever you want to move on, but the Europe thing, just go. What the hardest thing in Europe is to find breakfast. For some reason, they don't like breakfast over there.
Really?
Like
it's impossible to find a breakfast now, if you're in Amsterdam, you can get like a Dutch breakfast, or in Spain, this is the trick for free. I'll let everybody know. Go to Irish pub. In Spain, Irish pubs are open at 9 a.m. and they serve breakfast. They serve English breakfast, which is eggs, pork and beans, and sausage or bacon. Now, in Europe, they think hot dogs are sausage. I've seen it. And you don't have to fucking believe me. From Ukraine to fucking Ireland, you order sausage with your breakfast, they give you fucking hot dogs. Like straight up, they're hot dogs. Yeah, but then their bacon's weird too. Like Spain, no, Argentina. We was like 100 degrees. We're walking through these markets, and they got meat hanging, like meat on a bone from a sheep or something hanging, like in the heat. But something's different with their meat, like they smoke it or cure it. It's different. So like their bacon is different. Mm-hmm. Like their meat's different. But Argentina, if I were to buy a place out of country, I'd be Argentina, like Buenos Aires. Buenos Aires, I never ate so much meat in my life. It's meat and wine. There's a $4 for a bottle of, like, I don't know what Argentina's exchange rate right now. They use a peso. But we were buying the most expensive bottles of wine. It was $4 to $6 a bottle. Wow. So we all had our own bottle of wine. You order a meat board. The damn meat board's bigger than the table. I think they're into the Texas thing down there. Like they have the cows and the stuff. But anyway,
and they don't have as many chemicals or like preservatives too. So it's like,
man, I'm telling you, even in Turkey, you cannot be closed-minded. If anybody ever talks shit to me, this, that, the other, the climate we live in. I've been to concentration camps. I've been to the prayer rooms in Turkey. The same person you look at weird here, or the same person you take a second look at because they have a different hat or they're different nationality, is the same person that helps you when you're lost over there. So small-minded people don't travel. You know, you can't be small-minded. You can't have that prejudgment thought process and travel.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've been down some dark alleys. I've been in some crazy spots where I'm double thinking shit, and it's a-okay. You know?
It's a-okay. I love it.
It's always. I'm getting the feeling they really don't want to fuck with an American. Really.
I wish I had traveled more. I wish I could travel more. I wish I had traveled more. But this day and age, it's like, it seems like almost nearly impossible. But you're making me feel like it's like possible. You know.
It is possible. It's fun. I would love to. I always wanted to join the Red Cross and help. You know, it's
That's
great
cool.
working for money, but it's even better to help, to put your best skills out there and to help somebody. I'm going to see what humanitarian things I got set up for what's going on over there now, which is insane.